Sullivan, Dylan Sullivan, the show. That Dylan Sullivan show. I'll have a Dylan Sullivan show. All right, welcome back, Dillheads. This is the Dylan Sullivan podcast. It is the second episode, so we're going to get right into it. I'm still figuring out what this podcast is. Is it Dylan? Is it not Dylan? Is it something in between? And you can help me decide if you want. I'm going to be, in later episodes, taking voicemails. I don't know where. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment below. This is weird to me to talk one-on-one, but we're going to have fun with it. I'm going to have a podcast with Jeffrey Berner as well. That'll be coming out soon. So subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll get started. Man, what's been happening? Today, I had a day. I woke up, and then I met up with comedian Patrick Dipari. He is in a bit of a depression slump. So I decided to take him to Denny's to remind him life can get worse. Life can get a lot worse, so never get comfortable. Go to Denny's. If you haven't known before, I'm a big Denny's guy. There are 4 Denny's locations in Austin, the big 4, I call them, and my goal is to be known at every single one of them. And right now, I got 1 down, 3 to go. So I take Patrick Dipari to Denny's. Patrick gets a flamin' pepper burger, which is a burger with like cheese and jalapenos and a lot of other stuff, and they made it a double patty, so wildly depressed. But Patrick and I have an interesting relationship because I don't know if you have friends like this. When you're both depressed, you like to be around each other because it reminds you that you're not the only person that feels that way. So Patrick and I have had been in some lows lately. So we like to hang out and test the limits, so to speak. So we're at Denny's. He orders a flamin' pepper burger, and I order a lumberjack breakfast, which is eggs, bacon, sausage, ham, hash browns, pancakes, and toast. And then we both got coffees and mozzarella sticks. So depression is a pretty debilitating thing, wouldn't you agree? I'm still looking to... I want to be a hotshot at Denny's, you know? I want to be someone who walks into Denny's and they say, "Hello, Mr. Sullivan. Your table's this way. We've been waiting for you." "Hello, Mr. Sullivan. I'm a little high on crack, but I'm going to do my best to serve you tonight." And that's all I'm looking for. Someone to... I want to feel important, but I don't have enough money to feel important at big places, so I'm going to start small. And what I've been doing is I've been going to Denny's like constantly. I probably go to Denny's like 2-3 times a week. Sometimes with Jeffrey Berner, sometimes with Patrick Dipari, and sometimes we have guests, you know. Switch it week to week, day to day. And so my goal is, what I do is I go to Denny's and I order my food, and then I tip insane. I tip more than anyone has ever tipped at Denny's because I want to take down the big 4. The big 4, there's one in North Austin. There's one right downtown by Comedy Mothership. There's one a little bit south. And then the one we went to today, the 4th, is the Riverside Ben White Denny's, okay? That's a little southeast for all you detail-oriented people. I want to feel important. I want to feel seen. I don't have the funds to do that at especially nice places. I want to be king of the garbage. I want to be on the top of garbage with a garbage crown made of toilet paper and trash. I want to be the trash king. So I go to Denny's, and honestly, there was a couple of people who kind of looked down on me when I mentioned Denny's, and I think they're pretentious. Denny's is a quality place to be depressed at night and eat. And I'm underselling it. They actually have really great things. Okay, they're fruit bowls, for instance. What happens when you normally go to a breakfast place and a fruit bowl? What do you get? You get melons and you get honeydew. You get cantaloupe and honeydew, and then if you're lucky, a strawberry cut in 5 pieces. Denny's is way different. They serve their fruit in a fruit bowl. It's not a side of fruit, it's a fruit bowl. And it's layered with blueberries and bananas and strawberries and no cantaloupe. No cantaloupe and no honeydew, which I think is the most impressive feat of all. So my strategy moving forward is to tip everyone as much as I possibly can and to become the king of Denny's in Austin. And to do that, I need to take down the big 4. That's the north, middle, south, and southeast. So I'm going to have to come up with some sort of strategy to hit them all. And then also you have to think, well, they're the late night shifts. I already smoked weed with one of the Denny's employees. He said, hey, we've known each other over the last couple months, me going to Denny's all the time. He says, hey, you want to hit this? And he opens his car, and he's got a pipe. And I say, yes. And we're forging a friendship. I know that a month ago, he just found out that his significant other is pregnant. So congratulations on the new child. And I'm probably going to be the godfather. I hope so. I'm going to be at least the godfather at Denny's. So that's my world right now. So anyway, Patrick Diphculties and I are depressed for various reasons. So we like to hang out in the slumps. Occasionally, like the other week, we just got a hotel room for the night. Not a super nice hotel, but we checked in early and we said, we're going to sleep and watch movies all day. We got 2 beds and we just watched movies all day and ate food and slept. We must have slept a lot, in and out of sleep, in and out of movies. Hotels that still have channels. That's the tier of hotel I'm talking about. There was no way to stream. There was a way to get on the internet. Not a chance. This is a channel hotel. This is a channel hotel. We waited for the TV guide. Great thing about that is you learn to appreciate things like HBO, because HBO doesn't have commercials. When you're in a channel hotel, you learn to not complain, and you learn to like it. So we got a bunch of Domino's pizza, and we went into the hotel, and we blacked out the window completely. That way, there was no sense of discernible time, which is really important in one of those visits. You don't want to be aware if the sun is out, if the sun isn't out. These are things that will distract you from your goal from sleeping and watching movies and eating Domino's. Okay? Patrick and I are wildly depressed. And we know this about each other because most of the time Patrick and I hang out with, I don't know if you have friends like this, but if you're both depressed, you just sort of gravitate towards each other. Patrick, and I've told him this, is one of those friends where I'm comfortable with him in the darkness. The darkness of my soul. There are people that you can be in the gutter with and find friendship. And that's Patrick Diphculties for me. Patrick is unemployed and is out of a relationship freshly and makes terrible decisions. And I also do these things. My depression manifested in different ways, and I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to bore you guys with the details. What I really want to focus on is the friendships that get us through it. So Patrick is my friend that gets me through things, and I think vice versa. Or I just buy him Denny's, and he's a mastermind of mid-low range food opportunities. It's either or. So that's how we spent most of our time. And when we went to Denny's today, we ate, and then Patrick had to wildly take a shit. He said that he threw up his burger, his flamin' pepper burger, and he tells me I didn't know because I just dropped him off. But Patrick described it as when he threw up the pepper burger, that the throw up came in the same shape it was originally cooked in. So that was this week at also this week at Denny's. This is the segment, This Week at Denny's with Dylan. I walk in, and there's two old men. There's two old men sitting on the left. And he goes, "Hey, it's you." I'm like, "Oh, shit. Did I blow an 80-year-old guy and not remember it?" He's nice. He was very nice. He says, "Oh, you were at the Velveeta room. I remember you called me Clark Gable." And it took me a second, but I remembered. He remembered this show from like a year and a half ago. I headlined this small room in Austin called the Velveeta Room, which is a great club. It's like a little 80 person room, really narrow. And so I did a headlining weekend there. And one of the shows, this old guy who I don't know his real name, he was talking or something, or I was kind of picking on the audience doing crowd work. And I called him Clark Gable because that's the only old actor I remember, except for like the Brandos and etc. And he remembered me calling him Clark Gable. So he's like, "Hey, it's Clark Gable." And I said, "Oh, shit. What did I do?" But he was cool. And then I don't know if the guy he was with was his husband or a friend. They're definitely like 70s. But he goes, "Hey, you remember this guy from the Clark Gable thing?" And the other old guy just goes, "Man." So it's really important in show business to have people that love you, but to also have people that hate you. One old gay guy liked me. One old gay guy, not so fast, Dylan. No one gives a shit. So yeah, that was really cool. It was cool to be recognized in Denny's, and I know it's not my ultimate goal. I know it's my ultimate goal to be recognized by all the staff, but if I can get patrons in there, that is a win. So I'm calling that a win, and thank you, Clark Gable. You made my day. Patrick and I discussed this. Patrick and I are really fun together when we're both sad. We're both funny. We have you know what? I'm going to stop talking about Patrick and Patrick's depression. I'll keep you updated, but I will tell you, Patrick and I, sometimes if we can't sleep, we'll go to Buc-ee's at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, which is a gas station chain here. And the nearest one's like a half hour away at least. And it's a beautiful, beautiful gas station. It's got like so many gas stations. It's the biggest gas station I've ever been to. They've got great merch. They've got great food. It's a gas station that makes food. It has like stations. So we'll have little fun depression adventures, if you will. Get depressed with a friend and party at a gas station. Find ways to handle it other than, seeing a therapist. And I'm back to a therapist this week. Everyone should know. So all those things I said at that Denny's 3 weeks ago, I am working through that with a therapist, and thank you for your patience, and I'm sorry. That's the big four. Oh, another thing. Another win in the Denny's Big Four mission. One of the employees at one of the Denny's, I'll keep that confidential, of course, gave me a keychain coupon, a coupon that I can attach to my keychain that gives me 15% off on every Denny's meal for the rest of the year. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. That was this week at Denny's on the Dylan Sullivan Show. Let's talk about it. I haven't really been active on social media lately, so I'm trying to find ways to put myself out there. A good friend of mine, Asana Mod, reminded me that part of artistry is putting out things even if you don't want them to and if they're bad. Asan reminds me, Dylan, if something's bad, put it out there because no one really wants quality. I had this misunderstanding that everything has to be perfect. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to comedy, and Asan reminded me, hey, just put it out there. And you weren't funny in the first place, so do it. And thank you, Asan, for that. So this podcast is going to seem a little clunky. I'm not used to just talking to nobody. I mean, I'm talking to you guys now, but like in my apartment, it's me and then my cat Tuna's right here. Say hi, Tuna. 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 Did you hear it? Hi, Tuna. Thank you for the shout out. Now go back to bed. So I'm trying to be more active on social media. I'm learning how to talk. So this is what we're going to do. I wanted to do segments. Let me know what you think about this. Dylan calls his friends, or I call my friends. Pretty self-explanatory. I was thinking maybe voicemails, where people drop in voicemails and I can comment on them, or questions or things happening in your life. Maybe I can give you advice. I don't know if I'm that person, but I will give you advice. So I'm just trying to figure this all out. And I think maybe I should come in with subjects. I don't know if that's a thing or not. But how about we start with a couple calls to my friends. First, I'm going to call Tony Casillas, and I don't know if he's going to answer, but we'll see. I think he might be at work. Tony Casillas.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic
he says,
voice.
"What's up? I'm at Sunset."
109.
Okay. I'm going to have to call somebody else. Oh, I'll call Brittany Ledesma because I have to call her back anyway. This is my friend and great comedian, Brittany Ledesma. Let's see if she answers. Oh.
Hi.
Hey, are you at your spot right now?
Yeah, but it's empty.
Well, welcome to the podcast, Brittany. It's Dylan Sullivan from the Dylan Sullivan Show.
With who?
With me and Tuna. Say hi to Tuna.
I'm sorry, I don't talk to forbidden pussy.
That's good. Tuna's looking pissed right now.
Tuna, you know I love you in a sexual way that will never be able to be satisfied between us.
I know. I did forget that. I forgot your attraction to cats.
You forgot Tuna and I have a complicated relationship, okay?
Brittany, I'm going to ask you a favor because I'm struggling to talk by myself through this podcast, but I need to do it. I need you to give the listeners an honest strengths and weaknesses of Dylan Sullivan.
Oh, strengths of Dylan, people person. Weaknesses of Dylan, people person.
Oh, shit.
You care, Dylan, I love you, but you care, you are such a people pleaser that you hurt the people that love you the most. That's me.
I am so helpful that it hurts you.
No, you please people who like don't matter, like the most random people, versus your friends that love you and are there for you and would kill, murder, bury bodies for you.
I thought you were gonna say one of my negative traits was when I hit you and make people tell you that make people say that you fell downstairs.
No, that's actually one of your greatest strengths.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was telling the folks about some Denny's action I had.
What Denny's action did you have?
Well, I've been kind of I was recognized in public today, celebrity.
Like how I was recognized at Chili's when we were together.
Yeah. Oh my God, Brittany was recognized at Chili's, and it broke my heart because I wanted to be recognized at Chili's first. But
I know
it was well deserved.
You have Denny's over me.
I think we should combine forces. You take Chili's, I'll take Denny's, and then we'll rule the.
We'll take down all the old white people.
Yeah, except for me when I get old, and old white people we like.
Did I make it too weird by being too real? Did I make it too weird? Did
No.
I make it too weird, Dylan?
No, you didn't at all. In fact, I was really glad that you said something. Because that is one of my faults. And I've been talking a little bit on depression today on the Dylan Sullivan podcast. And
I can't believe I'm... Wait, another time I'm on your podcast, just audio, no face?
Yeah. Last time, my camera wasn't recording, so I just have an audio podcast of Brittany Ledesma. Maybe I can describe the...
describe.
Okay, Brittany is a 6'2" black woman who is as strong as she is kind.
Which is very weak.
Yeah, she dresses like a witch, and she's I don't know.
Tell them about
great.
my meat bags.
Oh, she's got meat bags. She's got big old meat bags. They aren't always even, but when they are, ooh la la.
You put them on a scale, and a Mexican man will weigh them for you.
That's right. The great Brittany Ledesma. Hey, Brittany, how's New York right now? How's the New York experience?
New York is New York. You know, it's gross. It's dirty. The guy from London is taking me on a date when I get back. I hope it happens.
Oh, a little London date?
Yeah. Here's the sitch, you guys. Basically, I met this guy when I was doing the comedy tour. So cool. I was like staying at a hotel. He was on the roof. I was feeling cool. And then we kept in touch for a year and a half platonically on Instagram. And then he was in New York while I'm living here, and he told me he was here. We didn't make plans to meet up, and then we ran into each other on the street. Adorable. Then matched on a dating app. And now he's moving to DC, and he works in New York a lot. Anyways, he's taking me on a date, and I already have the Instagram caption for when we elope, because we're going to elope.
What's the caption going to be?
Okay, hear me out. Government thinks this was for a green card, but joke's on them. It's for so I can get on his health insurance. There we go.
I love it. You got to do a little British flag, too.
He's my little crumpet. He's an ex-pro rugby player, you guys, and hairless.
Wow.
Hairless. I hate hairy men.
You normally don't see that combo, both rugby and hairless.
Big and hairless.
Wow. Brittany Ledesma, do you know where you guys are going yet?
No idea. He said he's planning it, and he seems very excited about it. He sends me like voice memos, and then I hate it because it makes him much more like adorable. Because he's all talking fucked up, you know. He's like, "Hey, blah blah blah," but it's cute.
Oh, I love British slur. That's what I call their language.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I get it. Your language is in cursive. You fucking assholes.
Yeah. I do have a couple beefs against the British, but I hope this guy's nice. And if things go well, then he's gonna probably have an uncut penis.
I don't know how I feel about that. I've only been with two, and one of them gave me chlamydia, so that's my only time with them, and I didn't realize it.
Do you think it had something to do with the penis flap?
My beef with with the what? You know what? What if we got like a wool sweater for the penis, and then we just shave it off that way? We get off the flap.
Yeah, that could be interesting. It might be worth it, at least, maybe not the first date, but the second date, to say, hey, have you thought about getting, I know you're 30, but have you thought about getting circumcised? A late circumcision.
And also, would you do it at our wedding?
Yeah. Oh, that would be a very romantic ceremony.
And you know what? We could use the foreskin, and instead of throwing back a bouquet of flowers, we threw back the foreskin.
Yeah, you could wear the foreskin as a wedding ring.
We could wear the foreskin as a condom.
Wow. This is romantic.
I think it's the most romantic thing ever.
So, what did you think of a penis? It's uncut penis with Adam Sandler.
Oh, I was gonna say uncut pine.
Uncut Joms.
Uncut cock. I don't know how to say it.
What'd you think?
I don't know how it would go.
When you did try it, was it
I didn't realize it till halfway through. It didn't make a difference for me. I also heard though that guys get UTIs that way, so that's the bad part.
Well, the thing is, yeah, it folds over, so there's a little smeg in the muh.
Wait, I have to tell you what happened this morning, and I know this is kind of embarrassing. I don't think I left my key in the right place for the doctor today.
For the doctor?
So I went to the doctor for like a physical, and I had to leave a urine sample somewhere, and there wasn't a designated spot, and so I just she told me where to put it, but I'm 90% sure I put it in the wrong place, so I'm pretty sure they had to go looking for my urine.
Yo, that's a fun game. Where's Brittany's piss?
Oh my god, and then this time I had 9 vials of blood drawn.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's it sounds like a very blood piss day.
Yeah, it was very blood and pissy, but in like a good sexy way.
That's good. Were there any hot doctors?
Dude, I have sexual tension with my doctor. I don't think he has sexual tension with me, but I definitely have sexual tension with him. Okay, he has beautiful eyes.
Well, Brittany,
even though he's kind of shaped like a little man boy, like he's like a Peter Pan man boy. But I don't know. The moment you have on a coat and you're in charge, the fucked up part of my brain is like, I want this.
Well, let's hope things go terribly so that you'll see him more.
I hope he HIPAA violates this pussy. No, not really. Sorry, people are around me and heard that.
All right, Brittany, I've got to cut you off. But thank you so much for coming on episode 2 of the Dylan Sullivan Show. Is there any last words you'd like to say to my wonderful audience?
Yes. Dylan, if you don't call me after tonight, I will shred the gnar. And you know what that means?
No, what does it mean?
Kill myself.
Okay. Well, I'll be sure to give you a call.
Okay. Joking. Sorry guys. I'm a normal person.
Brittany Ledesma, everybody.
Normal person. Bye.
That was Brittany Ledesma. She threatens suicide whenever I don't call her on time, so I love that. That was Dylan calling his friends, so that's fun. God, I really haven't checked in on here yet, so I want to let you guys know what my life has been like. Difficulty now. Oh yeah, the difficulties, technical difficulties are not so. Dylan Sullivan Show, they can never let go. Yeah, the difficulties now. Oh yeah, the difficulties, technical on the Dylan Sullivan Show now. We're having difficulties coming to now. Technology. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties, but that gave me a chance for my roommate to come home, and he gave me a stack of books that can help me with some of these individual podcasting segments. So I wanted to start with the Book of Questions by Gregory Stock, PhD. Pretty huge demand. Let's skip to 73. Would you have one of your fingers removed surgically if it somehow guaranteed you immunity from all major diseases? Which finger? I would have to say yes, and the finger I would choose would be thumbs, or one thumb rather. I know they say that's one of your most useful fingers, but I could use it as a claw. Dylan Sullivan, nice to meet you. And then when you shook my hand, you'd be like, oh, he doesn't have a firm grip at all. How powerful. So I think that would be a pretty good trade-off. What do you think? Let's skip ahead to question 184. You're with friends at an icy mountain lake on a warm, sunny day. Nice. If you knew it'd be a harsh, bracing shock to jump in, but that later you'd be refreshed and glad you'd done it, would you take the leap? This question from the great Gregory Stock is, would you jump in water once? And it's a good question because it's so controversial. But I think, yes, I would jump in water once. I love the feeling, once you get over that initial fear of jumping in, ooh, is an icy lake the best? I feel most at peace when I'm floating in water. And lucky for me, I'm pretty buoyant. So I can be out in a lake 4, 5, 6 hours before I have to shore. I can lay back into the water and I look up and I could be there for hours. Nothing better than a lake. Nothing better than a lake alone. Actually, a lake, but with friends nearby. But not too near. You have to have your own lake space. That's really important. What do you guys think? Would you jump in water once? 202. Not to be confused with 201. When did you last cry in front of another person? To yourself? Last time I cried was 3 or 4 days ago. And that was in front of Patrick. Patrick's one of my best friends. And the last time I cried to myself was sometime a couple days ago, maybe 5, 6 days ago, maybe a week. I'll put on a song, and the song that I was listening to was Radio by Lana Del Rey. It's one of her happier songs. And it's the lyrics have the feeling of fuck you, I did this. Fuck you, I'm making good decisions for myself. It's one of Lana Del Rey's few songs that don't end in suicide. So it is a good song. Let's skip behind to 34. If all online interactions and web browsing had to be under your real name and would be recorded and archived, how would it alter your use of the internet and the way you communicate with people? Well, I tell you what, I would stop posting all those slurs. I would stop posting all those slurs on Pornhub. Let's redo that. If all interactions and web browsing had to be under your real name and would be recorded and archived, how would it alter your use of the internet and the way you communicate with people? I tell you what, I'd write a lot less slurs on Pornhub. Damn it, Dylan. Get your head in the game. Take 3. If all interactions and web browsing had to be under your real name and would be recorded and archived, how would it alter your use of the internet and the way you communicate with people? Yes. Question 129. If your child were to be boring, stupid, or ugly, which would you prefer? This is a good one. Would your choice depend on the child's gender? Hell of a question, Gregory Stock. Hell of a dated question, Gregory. If that is even your real PhD. Would your choice depend on the child's gender? Boring, stupid, or ugly? God, boring people are the worst. I love a lot of stupid people. I love myself too. Or ugly. Ugly, okay. I'm going to say I would want my kid to be born stupid or ugly. I don't want them to be boring. I think that's one of the worst things you can be. I've met so many rich people, poor people, every ethnicity, every height, every weight, every type of individual. I've met one boring of them. And they are my least favorite of that group. Being boring, it is a job to not be boring, but is a job it's a lemon worth the squeeze. It's a squeeze worth the lemons. So, because when you talk to a boring person, it's just like, am I looking at a book right now? Am I looking at a book? Stupid people, like I said, are one of my favorite types of people, especially if they're truly stupid. And ugly is, if you take advantage of ugly, you can rule the world. If you take advantage of being ugly, you can harness its power and become a true seducer, one who seduces, because it forces you to focus on talents and knowledge and being a person that is good. If you don't succumb to the hate, the overwhelming hate that the world has for you. If you can it's ugly is high risk, high reward. I think we all know that. So if it were my kid, I had to choose to be boring, stupid, or ugly. It's between stupid or ugly. Ugly is you're really betting. You're going to the roulette table and you're putting all the money on a number. With stupid, you're putting it on red or black or green. So the safe bet is stupid, but the high risk, high reward bet is ugly. And baby, Dylan likes to gamble. So my kid, I would choose to be ugly. Final answer. What would you choose? Question 158. What was your most enjoyable dream? Your worst nightmare? I don't remember my most enjoyable dream, and most of my nights are nightmares. Question 193. Do you ever spit, clean your teeth, or pick your nose in public? No. I do, however, pick my balls in public, but I try to make it private. But sometimes boxers in this heat, you ever do a crotch pick? A nice old pick of the crotch. You do the left, right, left, like you're at a stop sign, and you do the croc. I pull the boxers down and out, baby. Spit, yeah, sometimes. I used to chew in high school, and my friends and I would go to the library. This is pretty gross. We had a carpeted library floor, and we would put in like tobacco, like chewing tobacco in. And whenever you needed to spit out, you would just spit on the ground and wipe it in with your shoe. So we were pretty good people. And then cleaning your teeth, don't do that. Do that in private, okay? No one wants to see your gums. Question 210. If you had to spend the next 2 years in a small, fully provisioned Antarctic shelter with one other person, who would you want to be with? Patrick would be a good choice. I mean, misery loves company. And I love Patrick. But maybe not Patrick, I would say my friend Jeffrey Berner, because he would do a lot of things to make sure we didn't both go insane. He's active, so he would encourage exercise, which I think would help in our mental battle of being in an Antarctic shelter for 2 years. He likes to cook, and he's very good at conversation. I think if you were in an Antarctic shelter, you also have to think, will this person try to kill me? Will this person try to kill or fuck me? And if the answer is yes to any of those questions, you may want to reconsider that person in your shelter. Just a thought. It's your shelter. It's your hypothetical. Do what you wish. But if I were to spend 2 years with a person in a shelter, it would have to be someone that I knew would not want to fuck or kill me. Ideally, I don't know. I would say Jeffrey or Patrick, or perhaps, or maybe like a celebrity. But which one, you know? Celebrities seem pretty, some of them seem pretty wild, and not in a good way. Question 235. Would you rather have success in everything Would you rather have success in everything material you want, but few friends, or little success or material well-being, but lots of friends? Sign me up for success and few friends. If there are few friends, but they're good friends, that's exactly what I'd want. That way, I can, and it's not about the material, it's about living out your dreams. And really, how many real friends do you have? You know, you have acquaintances and you have people that you're bored, you know, you're bored and you'll talk to them. But I think success and material, because boy, wouldn't it be awesome to be in an infinity pool with your 3 friends. That would be awesome. And that way, if you had material stuff, you and your 3 friends could be doing a lot of fun stuff. You could be going to Abu Dhabi, or you could go on a boat trip, or go to Europe, you know, or buy them, like if they're a struggling friend of yours, you could help them out. You could improve their lives. You could also, if you had like few friends and a bunch of material success, you could pit them against each other. Not that you would, but you could if you wanted. You would find their weaknesses, find things that they really need, get them accustomed to a life of luxury, and then pull it away from them when they start to get too comfortable or when they annoy you. Pass those chips. No, I don't want to pass those chips. Well, there's a lien on your house now, and the IRS is looking into things. And doesn't that make you want to give me those chips? Question 249. This is a long one, so gear up, okay? Question 249. A cave-in occurs while you and an acquaintance are exploring a concrete armory deep beneath the ground in an old converted mine shaft. Yo, what the fuck is in your head, Gregory Stock? A cave-in occurs while you and an acquaintance are exploring a concrete armory deep beneath the ground in an old converted mine shaft. You learn the entire shaft is now sealed, and an air hole being drilled won't reach you for 15 hours. If you both take sleeping pills from a medicine chest to slow your metabolism, the oxygen will still last only 10 hours. There's no way for you both to survive, but one of you probably could. What would you do if the other person took a sleeping pill, motioned toward a loaded pistols, said it's up to you, and nodded off? Okay. So there's only enough oxygen for one of you to survive. What would you do if the person you're with took one of the sleeping pills, motioned toward a loaded pistol, said it was up to you, and nodded off? Wow. So it's either kill your friend who's asleep or commit suicide and let your friend survive. It would depend on the friend, wouldn't it? And they didn't, Gregory didn't even say friend, he said acquaintance. I've known a lot of acquaintances in my life. I don't know if I'd want to die for them.
Difficulties now. Another problems are taking now. Difficulties with the difficulties another taking is a party taking now.
Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. The difficulties are pretty technical at this aspect, so in the next episodes, hopefully there'll be less of that. This is actually recorded the next morning. I just got my Starbies, which is good. I'm in love with one of the baristas. He hasn't been there for a while. I'm not stalking him, but I am choosing to show up and finding out his work schedule week by week. He will be mine. But everything else is going well. I wanted to wrap up the day because we had some good questions last night. Would you guys wrap it up with an if or a fact? Let's leave it on a question, okay? If you could bring back any past leader of this country to run the country again, who would you want? Missy Elliott. I think she has a good business sense. I mean, she's not like dead or anything, but maybe if we brought Missy back into the public zeitgeist, there might be a little less problems. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. That'd be. This is how she leads the country. She goes, ba-dum-ba-dum-dum. President Elliott, what are we going to do about these foreign trade restrictions? Ba-dum-ba-dum-dum. But what do we do? The military industrial. Ba-dum-ba-dum-dum. That'd be a cool way to deal with things. I'm going to leave you all a question that I'm not going to answer, but think about it yourself, and maybe you can answer below if you'd like. If you could have the phone number of anyone in the world, who would it be, and what would you say to them? Anyway, that's been the first attempt at solo podcasting to a camera. This has been the Dylan Sullivan Show. I'm going to release these every Wednesday, so some of them will be with guests and some of them won't. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. If you want to see me do stand-up in Austin, like I said, it's Wednesday now when I'm recording it. It'll be released later today. If you can catch me, I am at... let's see, where am I at? I'm at Comedy Mothership tonight for Solid Show. It's a great show run by Derek Poston and Asana Mod at the Comedy Store. And then later in the night, I'm going on Holtzman's Dark Show, and that's at 10:30. And then I'm also going to be at Creek in the Cave tonight at 10 p.m., and that is Jimmy Clifford's show. That starts at 10. I'm probably going to do an early spot there. And then I'll be at Holtzman. So I'll be at Mothership at 7:30 and 10:30 and Creek in the Cave at 10. So if you happen to see this and watch this by now, that's when you can see me. Or on Baker Street, I will be on Baker Street the 25th running some new material. So check that out. I think that's all we've got today. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a great week. I will see you next Wednesday. Also, if you know of a way for people to send in voicemails, I've been trying to research that. So if you guys know of anything where people can send in voicemails, whether anonymously or not anonymously, for me to read on the podcast, let me know. Also, let me know any segments you'd be interested in seeing. I'm trying this all out, throwing stuff at the wall, figuring out how to solo podcast. Anyway, that's been the Dylan Sullivan Show. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.
Dylan Sullivan, it's the show that he has on a YouTube channel. Already have 30 subscribers. Dylan Sullivan channel, Dylan Sullivan Show. What would you do with a book and then show? Dylan Sullivan Show, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tuners on the ground, yeah, yeah, yeah. Later, y'all. I'll see you next Wednesday when I decide to upload another episode.